What's good, Chaotic Nation? It is your boy Chaos here. We are back with the team builder for week 2 of the PDL season 5. This is the team builder for the Detroit Red Bengals for the battle versus the Sassy Squirtles and Coach Nico Coca-Cola. By the way, guys, we do have some merch. If you guys want to get some merch, we have t-shirts, we have mugs, pillows, pretty much anything you could ever want. So if you want to check that out, there's probably a link in the description. And all the proceeds will go to benefit, all the proceeds from the PDL specific logo and stuff will go to benefit the league down the road and in the future. So potentially cash pools for the champion and other things like that. So let's get into what we were meant to do today, and that is do the team builder and do an analysis of our team for week 2. We're coming off a really rough loss last week. We did some calcs after the battle, and if you guys remember, the crit that the Conkelder got actually really mattered because if we lived that hit, we sit there on the Lapras and hit it with the Rising Voltage, which would put it in range for me to Dynamax the Colossal and then potentially reverse sweep through the game. But unfortunately, the crits are a thing in Pokemon. RNG hates me. Gmax Lapras hates me, so that's just what it is. We'll battle Jimmy at the end of the year, end of the season. We'll kick his butt. That's how it'll be. Actually, Jimmy's a really good battler, so much appreciated to you. I got my own merch too, by the way. So if you want to support the Red Bengals, I appreciate it. But we are currently sitting in the last spot in the league, which is, I think this is the first time I've been last in the league since season 1. So I ain't calling it a comeback. But we're going to be doing some shenanigans here. I'm going to do what I did last time, and you're already going to see above me here the breakdown. I have Showdown, where I have the stats breakdown, the EVs and IV spread, shows the item and everything too. But I'll talk about everything as we did. I'll try to make this one shorter. But we got to start off, of course, with Gmax Colossal. I thought it was too good not to bring this week. It is a direct counter to Nico's Gmax, which is Charizard, which I'm really kind of about taking on, but we got a strategy to deal with Charizard and a lot of other things too. So this set is Rock Slide, Flare Blitz, High Horsepower, and Body Press. I went with no setup shenanigans this week on this Mon. I went straight offensive, and that is because, as you can see above, the item is Choice Band. So I'm going to be running Choice Band Colossal. The goal is to set up Colossal with Steam Engine. So he's +6, which outspeeds pretty much the majority of Nico's team, I think, except for the Zero Aura and the Gengar. I'm pretty sure everything else we outspeed. Maybe the Gengar doesn't outspeed, but I assume it could. It's probably Black Sludge, but it could be a Choice Scarf as well. But we will be able to take on her entire team with the speed boost. So that is kind of the point here. It's going to be a weird setup this week for it. We'll get to that in a minute, but yeah. We're rocking max HP, slightly not max attack. We're like, it's 228, and I'm running 28 speed. That speed is calced to be at +6 and to outspeed things. So I'm pretty sure I don't remember the exact cal. I'll look at it again before I do the battle, which will be right after this actually, which is kind of crazy. But I did put some speed investment in this Mon. It is a speed boosting. It is Jolly Nature, so it is going to be a little bit faster. I went with the more speed oriented so I could outspeed some things. The Choice Band makes up for the lack of attack. So this thing is going to be incredibly powerful, and it's going to do a lot of damage. So that's kind of the point. Colossal is going to be kind of a setup sweeper right off the gate, and that's what we're going to be running with. With the calcs, Colossal beats Zero Aura as long as it's +6. Honestly, it lives 1 attack. Since the way I'm pairing it, it lives 1 attack. Game, I don't need to be told to go faster. It lives 1 attack, and it can potentially do some other stuff on the backside of that. It beats Charizard, obviously, as long as it's there's none as long as it's not. I can't read what I wrote. No guard, no grand, no grass move. I think is what I was saying. So like no Solar Beam or something like that. It beats the Ferrothorn and the Sun. It can stall Wheezing, so it's a really weird matchup there, but it is useful. It beats Gengar without Scarf, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be Black Sludge. Just get Recovery. It beats the Silvally if it's a support set, as long as it's not offensive, it beats it. It can take on Cloyster. It's a really weird calc. As long as we're outspeeding it, I don't see an issue with it beating Cloyster. It can beat the Steelix in the Sun. It can be Glalie, and it has a weird matchup versus Behem, but I'm honestly not expecting it. Gmax Colossal just does everything that Colossal does better. The only thing it doesn't want to see is it really doesn't want to see Wheezing with Clear Smog. That's the thing it doesn't want to see, because it's going to revert my stats, and I don't want to have to hit myself twice with a move in order to set myself up. So that's going to be a little bit annoying. But basically, what the Gmax gives us is a way to beat the Silvally if it's offensive. It secures a spot against Hitmontop as long as it's boosted. It can sort of take on Haxorus, so it'll be a nice matchup there. And then it just rounds off Behem, Glalie, and Behem, Cloyster, Glalie, and Behem, and make sure we just kill everything. So basically, the Gmax is there just to ensure that we kill things. But I got a really cool set with this thing. We'll talk about it right now, because the next mon we are bringing is Shades R Crocodile. A little bit interesting set this week. It is running Intimidate, because I do need the attack drops. Nico has a lot of offensive and physical attackers, so shutting that down with this off the get-go will be amazing. Charizard and Crocodile are my designated lead, 100%. I've calced it every single way. I really expect Gmax Charizard off the gate, so these two are my best way to deal with that Charizard in a variety of different situations. I have a really interesting set here. It just depends on if I land my moves or not. That's going to be the kicker with this match, and I'm hoping we just get lucky and hit things. We get Fire Fang, Rock Slide, High Horsepower, and Close Combat. So the main thing about this set is this is supposed to be my setup for Colossal. I can use Fire Fang, and if I'm Gigantamax, obviously I don't have to worry about the flinch hacks. But I can use Fire Fang to set up the Steam Engine. I don't need a weakness policy. I don't need Aqua Jet or something like that. I don't need a water move in order to hit it, or a ground move. I just need a fire move to set up the speed, give it max speed, and then it's just a wreck. So that's the only reason Fire Fang's on this moveset. I was going to use Incinerate, but I have to transfer from like Black 2 or Black, and I'm not doing all that stuff. So Fire Fang's going to suffice. It does like 10% to Colossal, so not a lot. Also, this is Choice Scarf, so it's guaranteed to move first as long as there's not a priority move on the field, which I really don't think there's a lot of mons on her team that have priority, so I think we're okay with that. And the other moves obviously are there for reasons. High Horsepower for stab, Rock Slide for coverage, and Close Combat is a nice offensive dishing power move to help out in some other situations too. Again, the main set is use Crocodile with Colossal. We get an Intimidate off. I hit Fire Fang. We destroy with Colossal, and then I can switch out the next turn. I have some switch-ins in the back, so that's going to be cool. Crocodile itself is the main counter to Zeraora. I really see a Charizard Zeraora lead. I was really panicking about Zeraora being on the field, but if I'm Scarfed, I can High Horsepower first turn and just take it out, which means I will have to double switch out of the lead. I have a secondary offensive strategy, so that's not a big deal. But I would just have to switch out of the lead spot, and I wouldn't obviously get to set up Colossal right off the bat. Part of what I'm hoping for is if I don't get the chance to set up Colossal immediately, somehow Nico Gmax Wildfires into my Colossal, and I get that, which would be kind of pog. I don't expect it to happen, because I think Nico understands that I have Steam Engine, so that's going to be a thing. But yeah, this is my main counter to Zeraora. It can take on Charizard, that's why Rock Slide's there. It's a nice spread move too to get flinch hacks. A lot of our team's weak to rock, so I have a lot of rock using mons on the team. Wheezing, it beats Wheezing as long as it doesn't have Levitate. That Levitate is really annoying. The good thing about Wheezing is all three of its abilities show off right at the beginning. So if it has this Misty Surge is going to go up. If it has Levitate, we're going to know it has Levitate because the other two are on the field. And if it has Neutralize and Gas, we're going to know that too. That is one of the biggest issues with the team at the moment. With this lead, because if we have Neutralizing Gas, there's no point in using Fire Fang off the bat, because it's just not going to do anything. It's just going to give me damage to myself. So I got to be really careful about that. I got to really think and read that play. So that's going to be an interesting little set there. It also can beat the Gengar because it doesn't have Levitate. It takes on Haxorus. It's really nice for Haxorus and Zeraora for the Intimidate ability. So I kind of gave it the Choice Scarf for the ability to switch in and out and kind of lower attack stats. It also can be Glalie and Behem. That's close combats, and Rock Slide are kind of on there for those things. But the Behem is a really weird bring, and I don't think it's going to happen. But I prep for everything. As I said, these two are primarily my leads. They're going to be setup sweepers. Hopefully they can just wreck a lot of the fast metagame, because I have a slower offensive unit that's going to be taking on some of the slower stuff as well. And Crocodile is a great revenge killer too, because of the Choice Scarf, making it pretty much the fastest thing on the field, regardless of anything else except for priority. So that's going to be a great strategy here. Also, this is the week of the choice items, because I have all three of the choice items on my team. So that is just a thing. Next up, we have our Mermaid Man making a return. It is the same one from last week with Life Dew on it. It's Torrent again. I don't really need the Liquid Voice. It just makes my moves water, and I don't really need that at the moment. So I got Moonblast, Scald, Blizzard, and Life Dew. This thing has the wide glasses to help boost the power of special attacks, which is going to be very nice. It does have Life Dew to be a little bit of a supportive mon. As you can see, it's max HP, max special attack, so it has a little bit of bulk, but it also is an offensive Pokemon that's going to do a lot of damage. And its primary calc, as I said, it's primarily calced as with Bold, and to be more defensive because of the physical attackers, especially Haxorus, who's going to have things like Poison Jab to deal with this Pokemon. So fun fact, I actually didn't do a preparation for this Pokemon on my notes, which is really sad. I'll have to do that before we get into it. But Primarina is going to be a good case for Charizard with the Water Stab, obviously. It's really bad against Ferrothorn and Zeraora. It's not good for Weezing, but it can be an interesting little bring. Gengar is not super great for it either. It depends on the type of Silvally. I really think Silvally, if it comes, it's going to be ground type. So I think we have a good matchup there with Primarina. It takes on Hitmontop. It can beat the Haxorus, although it is a little bit slower and has to worry about taking a hit. It's an option to deal some damage to the Cloyster. It's okay against Steelix, and really that's all it is. It's more of a helping and supportive mon than more of an offensive Pokemon. It does have the ability to do both, and I'm running Moonblast, Scald, Blizzard, and Life Dew. You'll see why I'm running Blizzard in about, 10 seconds. But the rest of the moves are just stab and very powerful. Speaking of choice items, here we go. Here's our choice specs user, which is my Abomasnow this week. I traded, after the battle last week, I traded Glaceon out for Abomasnow, both tier 4, because I thought it was going to be a better Pokemon for me. Jimmy kind of put it in my head during the podcast that Glaceon really needs Hail to use its abilities. Meanwhile, Abomasnow does not need that. It can also actually set up Hail. So it is a Snow Warning variant this time around, because it is going to be setting up Hail. It gives me 5 turns of Hail because I'm running choice specs. And so I have it paired with with Primarina, so I can spam Blizzard. There's not a lot on the team that wants to resist that, and even if they do, the coverage between Water Fairy, Grass, Ghost, and Ground is just there to stop it. So it's going to be pretty cool. And this is also a nice little, it's a slower mon, it's more defensive, it's expected to be more defensive, but if we can get some of the faster things off the field, it works really well for our team. It can take on Ferrothorn. It's a really risky play, but it can do it. Zeraora is a weird play too. It beats Weezing. Silvally is really where this thing shines. It takes it on. Blizzard with choice specs is just busted on the Silvally that's not defensive. So that's going to do a lot of damage. Hitmontop is a weird matchup. It's more of a trade nonetheless, but it can be done. It helps out with Haxorus. It can beat Cloyster and Steelix, and it also has an interesting matchup with Glalie. I'm honestly not too worried about the latter of that list, but it does have some, like, Giga Drain is there for the water types, Shadow Ball for the Behem, Earth Power for just the poison types and everything else. So we just got some coverage here, and it's a really powerful Pokemon. Gonna do some damage, and that's what it's here for. It's supposed to set up Blizzard. It's allowing Blizzard spam with Primarina at this point. As I said, Colossal and Crocodile are meant to take out the early part of the game, take out the fast mons that are probably going to be leading, and then the slower mons can come in and start sweeping with Blizzard and things like that. So that is the potential on the back side of that. It's also built sort of defensively. I gave it a little bit of speed just so it outspeeds min speed. I think it outspeeds min speed Hitmontop, which is kind of the reason why it's question mark, because if I outspeed, we're fine. If I don't outspeed, it's a little dicey. So that's just the thing. I expect the Hitmontop to be more based on attack and HP than invested in special defense. So we'll see, or invested in speed too. So that's just what I'm expecting with that. Making his debut is Kevin, our Durant here. It's got Retaliate, Iron Head, Rock Slide, and Protect. This is primarily just a revenge sweeper. I am using Wide Lens and Hustle. I want to make sure I can hit my moves. It's Jolly Nature, so boosted speed. It outspeeds literally everything on her team, so that is the point. Well, most of everything. But the Zero Aura is stupid fast. I don't count that. But it's got Retaliate, so if something dies, it comes in, it hits a Retaliate, and just bodies something with its attack stat. It's a massive attack stat. It's 300 at level 100. So it's gonna be pretty good. You can see the stats on the screen, so I'm not gonna talk about that. But we got Iron Head for stab, and obviously this is my main counter for the Weezing. Iron Head just one-shots it. Rock Slide, as I said, rock coverage is really nice for the team. Does a lot of damage to a lot of the other mons, so I decided to run Rock Slide 2, just in case I need to bring this thing on Charizard, because it does outspeed the Charizard. It is calced to outspeed the Charizard, even if it's max speed, so you're good. So it gives me a little bit of help if I need to use it in that situation. 2, as I said, it's a weird matchup for Charizard, weird matchup for Zero Aura, primary counter for Weezing. It beats Gengar as long as it's not max speed. So that's cool. I assume it's going to be max speed though, so that's kind of irrelevant. It beats Silvally as long as it's not a fire type, because obviously the weakness. It can beat Hitmontop, which is cool. It can beat Haxorus, and it can beat Cloyster and Glalie as well. So it takes on a lot of the other part of the team. So it's really helpful in the mid game for a nice revenge sweeper to cut a hole in the team to make way for the Hail team in the back. So that is kind of why it's there. And last but not least, we have Alcremie. I got a different color this time. I just spun differently, so it was weird. But this is a super supportive set. I saw Alcremie last week. I'm like, it's not really doing anything. I kind of ran it supportive last week, but I'm running it uber supportive this week. As you can see with its stats, max in HP, max in special defense. This is the opposite of all the physical tanks we've had on the team. This is the special tank, and it can do some damage itself. It's got Charm in order to shut down the physical side. It's got Acid Armor in order to boost its stats in defense. So we have multiple ways to set this thing up. Honestly, what it can do is it can just set up Acid Armor on the physical attackers and just sit there and decorate the other Pokemon. So that is the primary purpose of this thing. It's to help out there. It's also a nice little thing for chip damage. We got Dazzling Gleam, so we can chip down things if we need to. So it's just a nice little mon. It's going to be a good switch in. This is my primary switch in. If things go awry, we switch into Alcremie. It's not really useful this week, but it is my defensive pivot. Sometimes you just need a mon to take care of that role for you. I literally built this set without Dazzling Gleam on it, so it was just purely defensive and shenanigans. I think I had Aromatherapy or Recover or something in that slot. So yeah, it was very much defensive and supportive. It also has leftovers to help regain health over time, which is going to be very helpful for the team. And it really doesn't have any good matchups. It can deal with Haxorus in Hitmontop, so if I need to switch into Haxorus, we can do that. Of course, we're pretty tanky defensively. So that is something we just got to look at and do. I really don't want to switch it into Haxorus, but if Haxorus happens to come in on a Dazzling Gleam, I wouldn't be upset. But it's primarily there for just chip damage and also to set up my opponents. So it's a great support mod. So what am I predicting Nico to bring this week? I am predicting the G-Max Charizard as a lead, most likely paired with Galarian Weezing. It's the same lead as she did in week 1. I expect that. I really do. I think it's a great matchup for those two. I think they pair very nicely together, so you have a very offensive and powerful Pokemon that can set up different kinds of weather as well as boost speed and stats. It makes sense that that would be something that we see. I definitely expect that Charizard as a lead. Weezing would be cool. as a secondary spot, but I also literally everything that I think she has could be the secondary Pokemon. So just things I need to look at. I think Weezing's really good, a good bring. I have 2 fairy types, and then I am bringing this week, but I think the Durant's going to be a nice sway to that, as well as Shades. So we kind of have our ways around that, as well as an Earth high horsepower on Colossal. I think Silvally comes in some shape or form. I very much predict Water or Ground. I think those are the 2 that are going to be happening, because multi-attack into Colossal at that point, that would be a great way to counter it. So I expect that. I think it might be... I expect her to bring the Silvally. I don't know if it's actually going to come or not. That's what I'm kind of on the fence about. I don't know if it's going to actually show up or not. But the Silvally is a weird mon, and we just got to figure out what typing it is, and we'll go from there. I really think Haxorus comes. It's probably going to run a Life Orb set, similar to how it was run week 1. Things like Outrage or Breaking Swipe, Poison Jab probably for coverage on my fairy types, and or Iron Head, and then Close Combat, and probably both of those moves, and or Dragon Dance to be a setup mon. So I definitely see Haxorus coming. It could also be a lead. I can break that down for you too if we need to, but I think I actually might after I finish reading what I think else might come. Next, I think Hitmontop comes. I have a lot of Rock Slides, so I'm really worried about the Wide Guard on Hitmontop. So that's something I just got to look for and look into when it happens. It really just shuts down the Alcremie at that point. If it has Wide Guard, and it probably does since this is doubles, and I think it was run that way last week. And my last mon that I think is coming is a Zeraora. Zeraora is really fast, really good for my team. It can cleave holes in my team, so I think that's going to come. I really feel like the lead's Charizard Weezing, but I wouldn't be surprised to see Charizard Haxorus or Charizard Zeraora. I've calced everything, and so I have a game plan for each kind of strategy. If it's Charizard Weezing, I'm going to Rock Slide with Colossal, try to chip that Charizard down, as well as High Horsepower straight into the Weezing, so it's dead. It's gone. And then we'll see what happens from there. I would expect Haxorus to be the switch in, and then that point in time, it's Alcremie and Durant coming in to deal with that set. Because hopefully the Charizard will be dead as well. We might just have to take a little bit of time to do the switches. If it's Charizard Zeraora, which I think is a really good bring for a lead, we high horsepower the Zeraora with our Crocodile, one shots, it's dead, and then we deal with the Charizard with Rock Slide, and or we potentially Gigantamax depending on what I feel like. If it comes down to Zeraora Charizard, it comes down to me not setting up my Colossal first turn, I probably won't Dynamax right off the bat. I'll probably wait to see if I get hit with a fire move, and if that happens, then we Dynamax and then we sweep. So that is the hope. Which is why I really think Charizard's a weird matchup this week, but it's going to be a lot of fun. So I really see that, and then Haxorus. If Haxorus is the lead, we just set up and we take it out. We just take it out. We just run our thing and we run our show and we take it out. Simple enough. So, and our strats for the week, of course. So I have 5 main strategies. First, setup, sweep. The leads, obviously. Shut down offensive with Shades, and then we set up Oven, let it go ham. We have Revenge Killers and Crocodile and Durant as the choice scarf. It allows it to be more of a Revenge Killer, and I have Retaliate, which is going to be stupid busted if I have something die and switches in. We have the Shutdown, which is Alcremie. It just kind of shuts down mons. It's more of a supportive set. It really deals with the physical attackers. Charm shuts that down. We can boost ourselves up with Acid Armor. We have a lot of different strategies here that's going to be pretty cool, as well as Decorate to help our opponents. That's part of the support set. Primarina runs it too with Life Dew in order to heal, so that is something we can do as well. And then we have Blizzard Spam with Primarina and Abomasnow. That is my secondary offensive strategy. If for some reason Crocodile and Colossal fail, we have those 2 in the back just to clean up. So I'm hoping this will be a good match. I think I prepped pretty well last week. And we just were very unfortunate with how we misread the lead. We misplayed a lot of times. And so I'm going to try to do better this week. I'm hoping that I don't just mess up or get crit hacks or something. So that's going to be it for the team builder. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure you guys hit that like button if you did. and subscribe to the channel. You don't want to miss the battle tomorrow. And yeah, I'm excited to see how this battle turns out. I'm really hoping we can bring home a dub. I would really hate to go 0-2 this early in the season, especially meaning that I would definitely have to win the rest of my matches to have a good shot at getting in the playoffs. So we had a lot of close matches this week, so I think we have a lot of really good competitors, and I really don't want to be on the back foot. So if I can keep winning, if I can start building a winning streak right now, that is a good time. And I'm hoping I can do that just throughout the rest of the season, and hopefully don't pick up any more losses. Of course, my goal, general goal, team builder, win in team builder. That's the goal. So hopefully this is a good setup, and if we lose in team builder, we're going to play like crazy and hope we can pull something out of our butts and pull off a dub. Thank you guys for watching. Made it a little bit shorter. I'm going to try for 20 minutes. 20 minutes is the goal next week. But if you guys want to support us, of course, we have merch. Honestly, just watching the video is a great way to support as well. Make sure you hit that like button too. And I will see you guys next time for the battle tomorrow. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Check out my social media accounts such as Twitter, Discord, and Twitch for more ways to stay connected to our community here. Yeah, see ya tomorrow. So thank you for watching. Until then, my name is Chaos, coach of your Detroit Red Wings, and we'll see you next time. So stay safe, and as always,